All right, welcome back, everybody. So, this is part two of lesson one, introductions. The essential question for this lesson is, how will this class work? In the previous video, I shared about myself, how I became a teacher, my hobbies, and what I care about. And in this video, I'll be answering the following questions. What will this class look like? How will we learn? Why are we doing it this way? And how will you access materials? After the video, then you're going to complete the mastery check, which is the letter introducing yourself and reflecting on the course structure. So there is a lot of content in this video. It's important that you do take notes so that you can understand this course structure really well. So as far as what our course will look like, I talked about this in the previous video, but I make videos to replace any sort of direct lecture. And this allows you to move at your own pace and possibly be on a different lesson than other people in the class. So, as a combination of video lectures, practice, activities, all of that will encompass one lesson, and then you complete this mastery check to show me that you did that work and that you understood the material. So in this particular one for lesson one, it's just a couple of videos and then you go straight to the mastery check, but that's not always the case. Sometimes there's some practice work that you'll do in between. Why are we doing it this way? Well, if you're familiar with the story about Goldilocks and the Three Bears, I think that's a really great analogy for the classroom. Basically, there are a number of students in a traditional classroom that will feel like the class is going too slow. They'll say, I know this already. There are other students who are feeling really rushed. They say, I'm lost. This is too fast. This is too hard. And then there's the students who were gone the previous day and they come back and they feel really lost. And then of course there are students where it's moving at the right pace and that's awesome. But as a teacher, it can be really frustrating to be at the front of the room trying to meet the needs of all the students and not being able to do so. How does this help students? There are a lot of benefits to this. So, first of all, and what's kind of most important for me, is this aspect of I get to duplicate myself, which helps you to be able to get more help more easily. So, I might be grading while you're watching a video, but I also might just be like walking around the room and working with individuals. Or students might be calling me over to be able to get help on questions that they have from the video, that sort of a thing. There's also more collaboration time and opportunity to work from and with peers. I'm sure you're familiar with this, but teachers tend to ramble on and on. And when I am delivering a video, I know that I've given you exactly what I want to say, and it's really cut down on that amount of time that it takes me to provide that instruction. Gives you more time to be able to do the important stuff of working with your peers and working on activities. You get to work at your own pace. Maybe that's a little bit slower. Maybe that's a little bit faster. It's all good. You're working through this at the rate that you need. Now, with that in mind, there are different classifications of lessons. I'm going to talk about that in the next slide, but you can complete only the required work or you can delve deeper on assignments. And that's part of how I do the self-pacing to make sure that everybody gets the material that I expect them to need for the unit. As far as mastery-based grading goes, you are in control of your learning and your grade. You can revise those mastery checks as many times as it takes for you to show mastery and show me that you've learned, because ultimately that's the goal. The goal is not just that you are getting a grade, but that you are learning the content. So self-paced structures, lesson classification. There are the must-do assignments. That is what everybody must do. That's the kind of bare bones of the curriculum that I want to make sure everybody gets. If you complete all of those must-do activities and there's still some time left in our pacing, you can jump into some of these should-do activities. And they are graded. They're worth that top 10% of your grade, so it's kind of like that A option. But if you happen to not be able to get to them because you're running a little bit behind, maybe you missed a day or two of school, you can skip those and you'll still have the knowledge that you need to be able to move forward in the curriculum. and aspire to do, I'll move myself out of the way here just a bit. There we go. These are enriching activities that can support your honors. So, what is kind of nice is that in this self paced structure, you might find that you have a little bit of extra time that you could be working on some of the honors work that is typically work that you would do outside of class. So, there is a resource on modules where you can learn a little bit more about how to get honors in this class if that's something that you are interested in. One of the ways that I support you in understanding your progress and what you need to do is through an assignment tracker. So this is an example of an assignment tracker in which we're able to see what lesson everybody in the class is on and what lesson that they should be on. So you can see that some folks are ahead of pace and other folks are catching up. Annie and Kareem just need to revise something on their mastery check, and then they'll be on that on pace lesson. Christine probably missed a few days of school. I would advise Christine to do that must do activity and skip that should do and jump right over to lesson 1.3 to be closer to being on pace. The other way that you can check what you need to do is through our gradebook. And I made a video walking through the gradebook and some of the features of it. So I won't go into too much detail here, but the gradebook is a really, really useful tool for you. You can see your overall class grade just right from the right when you click on gradebook. But what's really helpful is to click on the class itself, and that brings you to seeing all of the assignments. And you'll be able to track your assignments and the scores that you've gotten on those right there. All right, so this brings us to accessing content in the classroom. There are three ways. We've got our online, our physical materials, and then those mastery checks. So lesson videos and instructions you're going to find in the modules tab of Canvas. Class materials are going to be in a cabinet in the class, so I'll have that clearly marked where you can find any physical materials that you need. And then mastery checks do need to come through me. So you'll come to the front of the room, you'll get the mastery checks, and then you'll complete them in a designated area in the room where I can make sure that you are doing so in an honest fashion. So right now, your next steps is to complete the mastery check. You have just watched both of the videos. You're going to come to the front of the room and you're going to grab that mastery check. You're welcome to use any of the notes that you just took to help you out on this mastery check.